You ever spend years chasing something only to realize it's been standing right next to you the whole time? Alexander Price did. 10 years, $35 million, and a hole in his chest that no amount of money could fill, all because of one woman who saved his life, then disappeared like smoke in the Moroccan night. And the wildest part? She'd been polishing his marble floors for 6 months. The Pacific glinted silver outside his glass-walled mansion that morning, sunlight spilling across stone floors, so clean you could eat off them, not that Alexander ever would. He strode through the grand foyer like a metronome in Italian leather, scrolling Tokyo and London market reports, sipping coffee that cost more per pound than most folks made in a day. On the staircase, Maya Carter pressed herself against the banister, dustcloth in hand. She'd mastered the art of being invisible, breathing quietly, moving with purpose but no sound, keeping her pressed uniform and neat bun like armor. In Alexander's world, staff were background, as silent and replaceable as the paintings she dusted. But Maya noticed everything. The way his jaw tightened when certain names came up on calls. The restless pacing in his study. The long stares toward the Pacific, like he was trying to see beyond the horizon. In the kitchen, the driver whispered to the head housekeeper about a mystery woman Alexander had been searching for, the same private investigator he'd met with for years, millions spent chasing a ghost. Maya kept her face neutral, but inside, her pulse drummed. She didn't need to guess who he was looking for. She knew, because it was her. 6 months she'd kept up the charade, hiding in plain sight as just the maid. But that night, at his glittering company dinner, something shifted. Passing him to grab a napkin, their eyes met, and for the first time, he really looked at her. A flicker of recognition. Dangerous. A week later, storm pounding the mansion windows. Alexander lingered in the conference room long after the others left. "Do you like working here?" he asked her suddenly, surprising himself. "It's good work," she replied carefully, steady. Something in his gaze said he didn't believe that was the whole truth. And she knew the closer he looked, the thinner her disguise became. Then she found it. A half-finished portrait hidden behind his bookshelf. Her own face, younger, freer, staring back at her from the canvas. That night, she made a quiet call to an old contact. "He's noticing things," she whispered. "It's not time yet, but be ready." It might have stayed in that tense balance, if not for Eleanor, the new housekeeper with sharp eyes and a sharper tongue. She spotted Maya's silver bracelet and wouldn't let it go. Alexander noticed too. "I bought one just like this in Morocco," he said, turning it over. "The shopkeeper only made 3. This one's inscribed in Arabic, and I only had that done once." The walls between them cracked. He pressed her. "Tell me about Morocco." About the night, on the rooftop. She denied it. But when he called her the name he'd carried for 10 years, Amara, she didn't correct him. And then everything shattered. Eleanor, thinking she'd make a fortune, called Victor Hale the man Maya had been hiding from for a decade. The lights went out. Glass broke. Footsteps pounded. Victor Hale walked in like a man visiting old friends flanked by armed men. "Hello, Amara. 10 years, and you've been hiding in a billionaire's kitchen." But Maya smiled cold, sharp. "And you walked into a house wired with FBI surveillance. Sirens. Floodlights. Helicopters." In minutes, Victor was cuffed, snarling. Eleanor, too, babbling about making a deal as agents led her away. Alexander turned to Maya in the chaos. "You planned this." "Not all of it," she admitted. "I didn't plan on caring what happened to you. That complicated things." Victor's arrest tore Alexander's life apart. The board forced him out. The press shredded his reputation. Stock value halved overnight. But he didn't back away from her. "You gave up everything," Maya told him. "No," he said. "I gave up illusions." Still, she planned to vanish again. She'd built her survival on staying a step ahead. But Ari, the teen she'd been quietly protecting for years, told Alexander flatly, "If you want her to stay, give her something better than safety." In court, Maya faced Victor's lawyers. They tried to paint her as a manipulator, a con artist. Alexander testified in her defense, telling the jury exactly what she'd done in Morocco and why. Guilty. All counts. Victor gone for life. And with him, the shadow she'd been running from. On the courthouse steps, Alexander made his offer, stay. Not as my maid, not as the woman I searched for, as my partner. She didn't answer that day. 6 weeks later, she walked into his new, modest office looking like herself for the first time. Partners, she said, equal say. Foundation runs alongside the business, and we keep it professional. He grinned. And if professionalism doesn't get in the way, we see where it goes. No secrets. They shook hands, held on. Their security company grew fast, funding a foundation to protect witnesses and survivors. At their first gala, Maya spoke into the microphone. I spent 10 years invisible. It took losing everything for him to finally see me. And it took him seeing me for me to realize I was worth being seen. Months later, they stood before the restored portrait from Alexander's mansion, the slashes transformed into rays of light. It's beautiful, she said. It's honest, he replied. Scars and all. That night, on the balcony overlooking the city, she whispered, I'm not afraid anymore. Good, he said. Look forward. We got a lot to build. So here's my question for you. How many people in your life are you looking through right now without really seeing? And what would happen if, starting today, you chose to really look? If this story hit you, share it. Because sometimes the most extraordinary people are standing right beside us, just waiting to be seen.